X has obviously had two posthumous releases, if you don't count the newest installment, which is the Look at Me album, but in all reality, that's honestly just a soundtrack to the documentary. It consists of some SoundCloud songs that were never on DSPs before, and then some older classic songs from X's biggest projects or albums. But kind of looking past that and just diving into Skins and Bad Vibes Forever, which album was better? I know that this might seem like a easy to answer question. I want to really break into this topic and just dive into the overall themes that both projects brought, the track list that both projects had, and the sales that probably reflected how the albums were received and how they did in their first weeks of being released. Diving into Skins and really looking at what this album was trying to portray is a little bit easier than Bad Vibes Forever. Skins was an album that X was working on before he passed, and it was the next project that he was most likely going to release. It is confirmed by John Cunningham that X and John basically started making X's next album, which ended up being Skins, right after Question Mark came out. The songs and ideas and the vision of it all was done or very close to being done. The whole idea and concept and songs were pretty much done before X even passed away. They were just still working on the project. The overall theme of Skins is a little bit darker, I would say, than Bad Vibes Forever. You kind of get this feeling of a more emotional project from Skins. There are certain times and points on songs like Staring at the Sky that have a more upbeat or more aggressive vibe or feel to them, but it also has songs that go really well with that. Songs like Bad and Woe kind of fit more of what I think this project aims to do, which is being a more melodic album that I feel like more people would be able to kind of connect and resonate with. And you can kind of tell that every song on this album is short, but that's definitely something that X has kind of always done. And the album is definitely not overfilled with any features whatsoever. We obviously have a Kanye feature because that's somebody that X really looked up to, and we also have some production on this project from Travis Barker, but other than them, there's no features on this album. It's all X, and even if the songs are short and condensed like the project itself, I think that really benefits and helps Skins kind of stand out as a more cohesive project that you can listen to from top to bottom, and you kind of get a better feel of this being an actual album by the time you're done with it. It has songs on it as well that are just standout tracks that I feel like you can kind of listen to in any environment, which is something that I think Bad Vibes Forever mainly goes for. I think that Bad Vibes Forever kind of looks to get you with certain tracks that are standout. Stuff like Heart Eater are songs that obviously catch your attention more than some of the tracks that are just cluttered with features on Bad Vibes Forever. BVF has a way more cluttered track list. It's a way bigger project, kind of more comparable to the length of projects that we see released nowadays, where Skins doesn't use an excessive amount of tracks just to kind of go for streams. It definitely wants to just tell a story and feels more like an album experience than Bad Vibes Forever. I'm not trying to overly hate on Bad Vibes Forever either though, because I do think that that project has its own highlights and standouts. There's good interludes on there and there's good tracks. Stuff like Kill My Vibe I think was a perfect song, minus the feature that just kind of ruins the song, which I really feel like that's a majority of Bad Vibes Forever. The features just overpower the story that it's trying to tell, and you don't really leave it with a feeling that you just listened to a full-length project or a cohesive project at least. It just has a more cluttered feeling and it kind of drags on at points because you're not even listening to X for half the album. You're just listening to all these features when you're going into the project wanting to listen to X. And I understand that there's not a lot of X material and that's why the project's like that, but what's the point in stretching the track list out other than just capitalizing on streams in X's name? It really seems like that was the main motive with doing that. Looking at the sales to both albums, they were both released before Billboard introduced its rule where merch bundles weren't counted, and Skins has sold over 132,000 units in its first week, compared to Bad Vibes Forever selling a little over 60,000 units in its first week. I think a lot of this, for one, comes from the fact that the first posthumous release always does better. We've seen this this with Pop Smoke, Juice WRLD, X, obviously, and it kind of proves that Bad Vibes Forever having the excessive track list on it didn't even help. It literally sold less than half of what Skins did, and obviously, like I said, the first project is always going to do better. At least that's what it seems like from the previous numbers that we're able to see, but I think a lot of it also just comes from the fact that Skins is a better project. It feels like it's put together with more heart. It has more of just an X album feel to it than something like Bad Vibes Forever does.